Today, we're going to be talking about the 7 steps to a great scalp care routine. We know that you have lots of questions about what do I do about my scalp? How do I keep it healthy? I don't know what to do. I don't know who to talk to. So we're going to help you out today and answer all your questions about having a great scalp care routine. This is Dr. Dwella Moulton Nelson, your healthy scalp specialist. The 7 steps to a good scalp care routine include partner, cleanse, massage, treat, consistency, be kind, and always learn. So we're going to break down each one of these so that you get a better understanding of how you can use each of them to create your optimal scalp care routine. So let's start with partnering. When I say partner, I mean partnering with a cosmetologist who is familiar with doing hair that looks like yours. I know that all cosmetologists, you might get mad with me for saying this, but all cosmetologists, they are trained to be specialists in different areas. And so if you go to a salon and that cosmetologist doesn't have anybody in their chairs that they're doing their hair and their hair does not look like your hair, you want to ask some specific questions. Do you do hair that looks like my hair? That's really important because cosmetologists they're taught, they're trained, they are specialized in taking care of hair. But the more that you do one particular type of hair, that becomes your specialty. That becomes what you feel like you're an expert in. You can talk to any licensed cosmetologist. I know that there are a million. I might not get really good, reviews on this, or might not get really good insights, but just in my own personal opinion, if you go to a cosmetologist that has been doing a particular type of hair for a very long time, you don't have to give them as much insight about your hair because they already are familiar with what it looks like, what it should look like, what can you use to get it as healthy as possible. They already have a wealth of knowledge about your hair type. So it's important that you partner with someone who's familiar with doing hair that looks like your hair, that feels like your hair. So that will be number one, partnering. So that's our first thing. The second thing is cleansing. We want to make sure that you are keeping the scalp as clean as possible. Now, I know you're trying to find something that's great for thinning hair and also something that you can use for bald spots and little areas that are not growing in as quickly as possible. Our Nutritive Scalp Elixir Growth Kit is perfect for that. Just click the link below to go to the website and get the Nutritive Scalp Elixir Growth Kit. We'll link some other videos to kind of tell a little bit more about cleansing and how you want to cleanse. But cleansing the scalp is super important. If your scalp is not clean, it's very possible that you can eventually have inflammation and potentially infection and bacteria on the scalp. So you want to keep your scalp as clean as possible. The third thing we mentioned was massage. We talk about this quite a lot because I love a good scalp massage. And scalp massage is so good, and it's something that you don't have to pay for. It's something you can do on your own. You can do it at your own leisure. And I love it because it's like self-care for me. So it feels like I'm doing something for myself when I do a good scalp massage for myself. So scalp massage is really important because it increases the blood flow that's on the scalp that helps that hair to be able to grow and keep that scalp as healthy as possible. The fourth thing that we talked about is treating something. So if you have a condition on your scalp that does not look normal, if you have bald spots or patches, if you have red inflamed places on your scalp, if you have a patch that's red or bleeding, if you have a rash on the scalp, if you have discoloration on the scalp, if anything is on your scalp that doesn't look normal to you, I always recommend going to see a dermatologist or going to see your primary practitioner and tell them, hey, my scalp doesn't look healthy. My scalp feels this way, or I have a bump that's on my scalp and I'm not sure what it is and it hurts. So making sure that you don't just look over it. I know, when it comes to our hair and our scalp, it can take a lot of time to care for all the other things in your life. It takes time to care for your children and your husband and your mom and your dad and your dog or cat and your home and then your job. So there's a lot of things sometimes that are on our plates that take up a lot of our time and our mental energy and physical energy. But it's also important that we take care of ourselves. So if you find something on your scalp, please go immediately and get it checked out. Don't wait and say, oh, I'm going to look at it next month, or I'm going to look at it next week. I can't tell you how many people have said they waited and then eventually had skin cancer. I'm not speaking that over anybody, but I'm just saying it is a very serious thing for you to take care of yourself and pay attention if something on your scalp does not look or feel healthy. So that's the fourth thing, which is treat it. Treat it, making sure that you get the treatments that you need to keep your scalp as healthy as possible. The next thing we'll talk about is consistency. So you don't want to go and use one product for 3 months, switch and use another product for 3 months, then use another product for 2 weeks, then another product for 4 or 5 weeks. Because every time you change the products that you're using on your hair and scalp, your scalp has to get used to and accommodate basically whatever new thing you're putting on it. And if you have some residual from one product line left on your hair and you're using a second one, you could easily have interactions between those two products or types of products and end up with inflammation on the scalp or a rash on the scalp. And it's not because the products are causing it. The interaction between those two products can easily cause that. So consistency is really important. It takes about 90 days, if not longer. That's 3 months to 4 months, particularly 120 days, for your scalp to really understand the assignment. So when you start to use something new, that first month is just your hair and scalp figuring out how to incorporate what you're putting on it in order to keep your hair and scalp healthy. The next couple of months, your hair is getting used to what you're putting in it. It's responding as it should be responding. And by that 3rd or 4th month, you know if this is going to be a hair care regimen that's going to work for you. But you can't determine that in 2 weeks. So my suggestion is consistency. Be consistent. If you use something for 3 or 4 months and it absolutely doesn't work, your hair doesn't like it, your hair is not healthy, it doesn't look healthy, of course, by all means, change that. Of course, with your partnering, with your cosmetologist, change that. But please don't just switch between products. Every time a new product comes out, oh, I got to try this. It just came out. Oh, I got to try this. You know, the most important thing for us here at Dr. Topic Oils is that you're using things that are very gentle to your scalp, and you're using things that keep your scalp healthy. Because you can use a bunch of different things to style your hair, but if your hair is coming out at the root, you know, it's going to be very difficult to maintain styles when you're losing your hair. Okay? So consistency is really important. The next thing is be gentle. So whenever you're washing your hair, when you're conditioning your hair, when you're putting your hair up in a ponytail, when you are pulling your hair back in a ponytail, when you're getting braids, or when you're getting a lace front, or when you're getting a blowout, if you feel that the stylist is being too rough with your hair, speak up. Because honestly, when someone is really pulling my hair, I can feel if it's being pulled from my scalp. I may be the only one, but I have been in a chair before and had someone blow dry my hair, and I could feel or even combing my hair before they got ready to wash it, and they were not being gentle. They were tugging my hair, and I could feel my hair popping. I could feel the strands clipping. And so I recommend that you're gentle with your hair and you're gentle with your scalp. Finding a stylist or finding a cosmetologist who's going to be gentle with your hair, but you also be gentle yourself. And the last thing is learn. Always, always, always learn. There's so much out here that you can learn about hair and scalp health. That is really one of the most important things to us here at Dr. Topic Oils, is that not that we're telling you what to buy and telling you how to go get this or buy that. You have enough of that in your feed, I'm sure already, whether you're on social media or even on your email, you'll have things about what you should purchase. What's most important to us is that you understand how to keep your hair as healthy as possible. That is not product specific. That's knowledge. That's having understanding and knowledge about what the scalp is, how the scalp behaves, how to be gentle, what are things that I can do that's natural to be gentle to my scalp and make my hair grow and keep my hair growing. Because we don't want our hair just to grow just a little bit. We want to continue to grow. We want to have healthy growing hair into our old age. And so, you know, these tips that we're sharing with you through this platform really help you to understand that these are things you can do from home. You know, there are lots of products that you can get to fortify and help that hair to grow and keep that scalp as healthy as possible. But always be a learner, always learn, always be open to learn about things that you can do to keep your scalp and your hair as healthy as possible. So these were our 7 steps to creating a fantastic scalp care routine. Thank you for listening. This is Dr. Dwella Moulton Nelson, your healthy scalp specialist.